guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So Global is just getting EZA TEQ VEGITO Blue here. Now, I think that this guy is okay. I think he's decent. Like a lot of the EZA TURs, it's a very heavy RNG fest with this guy. I think there are runs you could do in some of the hardest fights in the game, so Cell Max, Metal Cooler Core, where this guy actually could dominate and potentially even be the best unit on the team. Again, I'm talking Cell Max, Metal Cooler Core, Red Zone Broly, of course, because he finishes with that EGL phase. Vegito Blue could eat his lunch pretty easily. But it's a huge RNG fest, and if that's going to happen, right? This guy, it is funny. I feel as though people historically throughout Dokkan history, they've loved, like, this type of character, but they'll hate, like, again, like, UI Goku with his dodge. But I don't know. For me, the way these characters work, this Vegito Blue, right? You'll do your first attack, then he has 2 guaranteed additionals, each has a 30% chance to be a super, and then he could do his hidden potential system super as well. So potentially he could super 4 times. But for me, I do 1 super and then 3 or 2 normals every single time. Now Vegito Blue here, he stacks attack and defense with every super attack. So that's the thing. If we, have turn 1, we, do like a double super, a triple super, and then the second turn we get like another triple super, like we're off to the races. He begins to stack up his defense. He could look very good, very powerful. But I think getting a lot of stacks is a huge thing with him. He has a great sticker, by the way. A lot of the Super Saiyan Blue characters, like their stickers can look pretty good, right? And then if we take a look at his Link set, this is a bit of a problem for him. He has Super Saiyan, Warrior Gods, Kamehameha, Power Bestowed by God, Fuse Fighter, Over in a Flash, and Fierce Battle. The way it has turned out, Over in a Flash is just not really that crazy anymore. I mean, look at the characters that have released with Over in a Flash. UI Goku is 2.5 years old, right? Like, sure, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is very powerful for a long time. We have these UI Gokus here, but LR, AGL, UI, like, at LR, he doesn't have Over in a Flash, right? LR Kaioken Goku is certainly good, but Over in a Flash, just for the most part, is not really that great. Fusion characters in Dokkan are not really that great either to pair with Vegito Blue. So I feel like when you're using this guy, you're probably not going to have him paired up with fusion characters too often, right? So that's something to keep in mind. All right, let's see how we do. 137k defense right here at the start. Vegito Blue gets 50% when attacking. So it's like, we're at like 210k defense right here. And this is why he's a huge RNG fest, because if he quadruple supers for us and gives us 4 defensive stacks, he could be looking pretty good. Notice our key too, but this is not the greatest opening rotation, of course, but look at our key as well. Vegito Blue potentially could struggle for needing key, right? Again, with his Link set. Now, he does have this extra ability that I think is completely worthless. He gets 3 key and a 30% chance to crit within the same turn after receiving an attack. Again, I think that is completely worthless because that wants you to run him in like slot 1, or maybe if we're going up against an AoE unit. Okay, we did get a triple super right away. Okay, that's good. That can allow him to look pretty solid for the rest of this run. Now let's see what else he does. So yeah, you can see the little key popped up right there, and then you get the 30% chance to crit. But that ability sucks. That he could have gotten anything else. That shit is worthless. The amount of times you're going to be running this guy in slot 1, where he's going to get hit before you attack, so you can take advantage of it. That shit is not going to be common, dude. That is a terrible ability that they gave him. It's actually a real bummer. That is, I think, just like such a waste of an ability. It really is. So Vegito, he does stack both attack and defense with his super attack effect, right? So we are going to get that, with all these super attacks. Again, we got 3 in the last turn, which is pretty good. But then he also gets 20% attack with every attack performed, up to a max of 200%. So he does have to do, 10 attacks to fully build up. So this Vegito Blue, he is certainly meant, right? Like a lot of the Tanabata characters that came out, those are characters that were designed to like really begin to take down Red Zone, Broly, and Omega. I feel that's what a lot of those Tanabata characters were, right? Like Fusion, Zamasu, all these types of characters. They're characters that, again, could put in work against these type of fights. This Roshi, let's. I'm glad I brought a Ghost Usher. Let's use a Ghost Usher. I don't want this Roshi to seal us. All right, how are we looking right here? So we're up to 230k defense. Remember, we get 50% when we attack. So we're beginning, like, we're over 300k defense here, right? Like, we're beginning to get there. Now, we're now linked up with this Tech LR Vegito Blue. This character, of course, is completely dead right now. Completely ass. Just horrible. But this is... honestly, I think this is an EZA that really might come during the 8th anniversary. I would really... I don't want them to fumble the 5th anniversary LRs. I'm praying more than anything that the 5th anniversary LRs are just, like, huge W's. Like, the best EZAs ever. Those are ones... Especially just the fact that I feel like Dokkan needs a huge injection for fusion characters. The 5th anniversary fusions, man, they don't usually like to take these, you know, EZA characters and make them like, oh my god, like top 5 or something like that, but let's hope they do. Okay, this run has actually been very good for us because we've supered 5 times in 2 turns. That's pretty good. Alright guys, so we're here on this next turn. So Vegito is up to 355 right here. I mean, that's... Now we're starting to get to a pretty good territory, because remember, he gets 50% when he attacks, right? So it's like, now we're beginning to get to a point where he's looking really good, right? Like, once he starts to get a lot... Seems like his defensive stacks are pretty, like, meaty here. Like, he's actually getting a pretty decent amount of defense when he supers. Now, I do notice that we have LR Vegito Blues active right here. If y'all don't mind, let's play this. I feel like this is a pretty uncommon one to get these days. I want to get this here.
その目に焼き付けておくんだな。これがベギットの真の力だ。ファイナルカメハメハ！
Always love seeing that. I would have liked to have gotten the KO screen there, but it's all good. Alright, so yeah, let's just do a few more turns. I mean, you guys can see, in this run right here, we had some pretty good opening turn, I think, luck with Vegito Blue, right? A triple super turn 1, that gets us going, like, really nicely. So that way he'll begin to really look good. One other effect that this Vegito Blue does have is that he does disable enemy guard on his super attack effect. So it's like he'll do more damage to type disadvantaged characters, which we just saw by the damage he did to that Piccolo right there, on his super attack effect, which is like, that's a decent-ish ability, I would say, being able to do that. I don't know that that's like, you know, the craziest ever, but it's like he's already... That's just, like, tidied into his super attack effect, right? As he's already stacking attack and defense. So, I don't really think that that's too much of an issue or too much of a problem or anything like that. So, yeah, this is Tech Vegito Blue. Again, we can go into these long events. We can really begin to build up with him. And he's able to get to a decent amount of attack and damage. I think, for me, the main issue with him is he is very heavily RNG-based, right? In terms of getting these attacks in order to be, like, good. But link-wise and key-wise, it is an issue. If we're pairing him with, like, LR Vegito Blue, where, we have, I believe, 5 links activated. With LR Vegito Blue, how many do we have with this guy? Yeah, we have, we have 6. So we have Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Power Bestowed by God, Fuse Fighter, Over in a Flash, and Fierce Battle all activated. It's only Warrior Gods that's not activated. It's like, in a situation like this, like, yeah, we're looking good. But oftentimes, right? It's like, if you don't have an Over and a Flash character or a Fuse Fighter character, Fuse Fighter and Over and a Flash, neither are common. So it's like, this guy, Ki could be an issue, right? It's like, we're going to need to be running like Dokkan Fest Kid Goku on the team or something like that, like one of these Rainbow Orb Changers, I think, to help this guy with Ki. I just think that this Vegito Blue's Link set certainly is a bit of an issue for him. But let me know what you guys think of EZA TEQ Vegito Blue. I do think they could have made him better. How would I have changed him? I guess for me, I would say it's the last ability he has. Damn, he's up to 7 million now. He could do this 4 times, right? If a long fight goes on, he can start to look very impressive. There's a normal, and then, okay, then we get a super attack at the end right there. That 3 key and 30% chance to crit within the same turn after he gets hit, I think that's where they could have changed it to something else. I don't know what, though. I think this Vegito giving himself key at the start of turn actually would have been really good, though. Like, he does that, but he has to get hit. I think that is something that is very helpful, because I can see many situations in Red Zone, right, where, you know, one thing I'm constantly trying to, like, let people know is that a lot of times in these really tough Red Zone fights, you know, it's like you're not really running rotations, right? Like, it doesn't really work that way. It's like, oftentimes, like, you're maneuvering your team based on where the enemy is attacking and, you know, how your opening rotations are once you go into the event and stuff like that. The concept of rotations, for the most part, I think doesn't really exist. Unless you're talking about, like, Vegeta and Trunks level characters, right? Final Form Cooler, Carnival Goku, like, these types of characters, you can build rotations around them, but that's pretty much it, right? So because of that, it's like this guy just dropped onto, like, the future team or something like that. I think it can be very, very hit or miss. I think there's numerous other characters I would just simply rather run. We'll see what might happen, though, once the future team potentially gets, or excuse me, not future, but we'll see what happens once some of these other teams, you know, Final Trump Card, the Fuse Fighter, these types of categories, as they get buffed, what this guy might look like, right? How much might he improve? I should add, I haven't mentioned this in the video so far, but we are on a 200% leader skill, LR Vegeta and Trunks, because LR Vegeta and Trunks give Future 170, and then, of course, it's Battle of Fate is the 200%, which TEQ Vegito Blue is, of course, on. Alright, so let's go ahead and see this attack set right here. Let's see what numbers we get up to. Again, I mean, Vegito Blue, so far in this video, he's looked pretty good, right? Like, we've gotten some, I would say, very impressive stat lines from Vegito Blue so far. What is our attack set here? 7 million is what we're at. So, this guy's just been able to continue building up, you know, stacking up his attack, stacking up his defense, right? You know, if we have a start of turn defense of over 300k, remember, he gets 50% when he attacks. So, you know, he is really able to build up quite a bit. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of TEQ Vegito Blue. Again, I think he's decent. He's in range with a lot of these other EZA TURs. But the thing about all of the EZA, most of them, I guess, besides, like, maybe, like, STR Cooler, a lot of these guys, it's just huge RNG in how they perform on any given run, right? So many of them have a lot of these huge factors. They're intended to, you know, just be additions to these teams and then be able to help you out. And that's what this guy is. I feel like you could go into, like, all the content in the game and you could beat it with a good performance by this guy. Or you could go into all these fights and this guy can sell and get you killed in the first turn, right? I feel like all of it is on the table with him. So let me know what you guys think of the TEQ Vegito Blue EZA. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.